So that time of year has come around again. It's approaching Black Friday and Cyber Monday, the perfect time to get all of those audio plugins you've been lusting after. So in this video, I'm going to share with you my favorite plugins that have come up for offer so far this year, because there are so many available each year and it can be a minefield choosing the ones that are actually going to make your music sound better. I'm not saying these are the only or the best plugins available. These are just the ones that I've personally found to work really well in my workflow. But before we dig in, I would say there's no point buying plugins if you don't know how to use them properly. And you can get incredible results with most of your stock plugins. So if you would like to know how to use all the plugins properly, do check out my accelerator program below this video. You can hear one of my student tracks playing at the moment, and we help our students get signed to some of the world's biggest labels and supported by some of the world's biggest DJs. Okay, without further ado, let's look at some of these early Black Friday deals for 2022. There are links to all of these below this video. They are affiliate links, so if you want to help support my channel, please use them. If not, you can just Google search for these deals if you'd rather. So the first kind of bonus site I want to bring to your attention is Plugin Boutique, because there are loads of deals on lots of different plugins every single year. So definitely check back this website every couple of days until the end of this month. You're bound to stumble upon some incredible deals. Now let's go into the specific plugins that I recommend grabbing this year. The first is Sonox. Now these guys have got a big fat discount at the moment. You can see the details here. I don't think you need to buy all of these plugins. The one that I would absolutely not do without is the Oxford Inflator. So if you haven't got it yet, I recommend this to my accelerator students. I would definitely grab that. It's just a way to enhance your music, add saturation and harmonic excitement. It makes things sound incredible, so I would definitely get that. They do have other really high quality plugins, so if you want to have some demos of them and see how they sound, you'll probably end up using these plugins in every track you make. Now let's go on to Cable Guys. Now these guys have just released the Shaper Box 3, and if you want me to make a tutorial, an in-depth tutorial on that, do let me know in the comments below this video. But this is really taking over our workflow. I mean, in the accelerator, we now don't even recommend the LFO tool or Nicky Romero's Kickstart. This Shaper Box allows you to do sidechain compression, but so much more as well. It's an incredible tool, and they've already got their Black Friday sale on. So I would definitely be grabbing this for $89 instead of, $300 odd. Shaper Box 3, really cool. Next is Native Instruments, and these guys are kind of linked with iZotope now, so we'll touch upon that in a minute. But I love Contact. I think it's a fantastic sampler. If you want realistic sounding instruments, there's nothing else on the market that I think is as good. So if you want really good piano sounds, if you want really good bass guitar sounds, definitely check this out, and you can get a big fat 50% off already. So that would be my next recommendation. And then we move on to iZotope, who make fantastic software for mastering. Now, I recommend to my students getting Ozone. I think it's an incredible piece of mastering software. It gives you everything you need, and you can already get discounts on that. I'm not sure if they're going to discount it anymore as we get closer to Black Friday, but you can see here Ozone 10 Advanced is €359 instead of €600. And this will be your go-to mastering software. Next, we're going to touch upon Waves. Now, these guys have always got discounts on, but none so big as at this time of year. And you've got a couple of options here. They've got all of their separate plugins, many of which are really good and really useful, but the one I personally really like is this CLA Vocals. I've seen a couple of videos with people slating this, but it just makes your vocals sound really, really good. So I would grab that. But if you want a much better deal, you can get one of these platinum bundles, which gives you loads of their plugins. So if you don't have any plugins yet at all, this could be something worth getting, because it's, $240 instead of $2,000. I'm not sure if you'll use all of them and work them into your workflow, but you'll get a great selection of vintage modeled EQs like these Putex, definitely really good. Renaissance Vocals, again, a fantastic tool. This one here. So yeah, definitely check out the Waves website often, and again, there's a link to it below. And it's worth noting, guys, that I've actually created a blog post with all of these plugin deals and more. So I've put a link to that below, and you can just put your email address in here. I'll keep you up to date as and when these new deals come out as well. So now let's go on to Arturia. These guys make really good analog modeled soft synths. So if you want that older feel, if you want that 80s sound, I recommend getting the V collection. So if you're creating synthwave, if you're creating rich melodic house, if you're creating Eric Prydz style progressive house, the instruments in the V collection are really going to help you get that warm sound. And you can get a massive 50% off not only the V collection, but the FX collection and Pigments 3 as well, which is a synth. Personally, I love the V collection. Okay, now let's go on to Black Rooster Audio. Now, if you've got that Waves bundle, there's a chance you won't need this, and I'm trying to do this in order of what I would recommend you get. But Black Rooster Audio make really good analog modeled plugins. So if you want to impart some of that hardware feel to your processing when you're doing the mixing, this magnetite tape warmth is fantastic. But if you want to get software versions of classic EQs, classic compressors, you can get this all bundle for only 99 euros instead of over 2,000 euros. This is for if you've been producing for a while. This isn't going to make your music sound better if you aren't already at quite a high level, in my opinion. But if you are wanting to get just that extra bit of professional sheen, this is an incredibly high quality bundle of plugins. Now let's move on to the Sound Theory Gullfoss. So this is a kind of intelligent EQ that will craft space in your mix and take out resonant frequencies. It's quite an impressive tool, and they've got 40% off this at the moment, but you can also try it out and see if you're going to work it into your workflow. But you can apply it to different instruments and it will somehow determine the most important frequencies there and take out the ones that aren't needed and enhance the ones that are needed. It's just a great tool to have in your collection, and at 40% off, it's probably worth getting. Now, the last thing I wanted to touch upon is a piece of hardware and software called SonarWorks Sound ID Reference. And this is what you can use if your room isn't perfectly set up, or even if you've got a pair of headphones and you want to get more of a flat frequency response. This plugin will go on your master channel and it will attenuate certain frequencies and boost other frequencies to try and give you as flat a frequency response as possible. Again, this is something that we recommend in the Accelerator program, and this isn't available yet. I think it's going to be a lot closer to Black Friday when they start running a deal on this, but they have told me you'll be able to get up to 60% off. So it's worth bookmarking the page and just checking back a bit closer to the time. So I hope you found that useful, guys. I will be making another video on Black Friday or just before it when more deals are out and giving you my rundown on what I think is personally worth getting. But all of this is just my personal opinion. Do your own research, download trials if you can. But the most important thing to remember is spending money on plugins is not going to transform your music into a professional level. These are tools that can be fun to use. They can definitely enhance your music. But the most important thing is actually learning the fundamentals of how to create great music. So with that in mind, check out this video here. It's going to show you how to get the best sound for your music using just the stock plugins you already own. So I recommend watching this if you haven't already before grabbing any of these plugins. And don't forget, bookmark my blog post because I'm going to be updating that daily as well with the newest Black Friday and Cyber Monday audio plugin deals for 2022. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you over at the video.